Mercedes McDonald is the family counselor at the Domestic Violence Center of Chester County. Here she spends time working with children and teaching them that abuse in the home is not acceptable.
Children are the silent witness, so it's very important to be aware of them and to give them a space where to, talk and express how they feel about it. And it's not only about the two parties that are involved in a violent act or an abusive relationship, it's about how they affect the ones around them and the kids that they made out of this relationship. So a lot of times these kids do not count with the support or the people to help them, and they're so young that it's not like they can go up to somebody and ask for help. A lot of times everything they do is through their parents, and their parents are not available. So as we have to take them to school and we have to feed them and we have to grocery shop for them and buy them clothes and do everything for them, well, this is another thing that if we're not available for them, then who is going to do it for them? So we really need to be aware of these kids that don't have a voice, that don't have support, that don't find a place where to feel safe or where to fall asleep, and are just running around the system or in foster cares and just don't have anybody to advocate for them. So it's very important that we are aware that they're not only witnesses, they are victims too. And we need to work with them to avoid them repeating the cycle just because that was what they were exposed to when they were young. The children are a great place to start because they're so young and they're learning everything, they're getting into the world, and they are the perfect early intervention. They still have a lot of time to learn how to behave and how to change. Since the early intervention is the best way to address this, it really starts by safety planning. So they have to be aware of what to do if it comes dangerous. So if the situation gets out of hand and they are at home, what do? They call 911, they go to the neighbor, who do they tell? What is their support system? The interventions depend on the age and the frequency. When I start, I generally interview the mothers just to get the back story of the family and the history and where it started, know a little bit about the child. After I listen to the mom's, worries and, things that she wants to work through, I sit down with a child and I go from scratch and just, try to get to know them and talk to them if they, are at an age that they can express easily. If not, if they're a little bit young for that, I just start with a book just to, open the gates towards expressing and opening up towards feelings. I really take it apart. Like, my main focus is not to talk about the specific abuse and like when they hit you or when you saw somebody hit someone at home, but the consequences to that, like if it's towards their behaviors or their emotions, how it affects themselves and how they feel and how they express all this. The next sessions, I am prepared. So I'll pick and choose and what topic I'm gonna address, because they will always mention something that would be like, I have trouble at school, I get really angry and I don't know what to do. And so I'll pick a topic and then I'll do activities around it. So like if I start with a book that it is connected to that theme, or if I start with asking them to draw something, or just openly talking about something, or just playing with a family, like little dolls and, with family members and just, openly let them guide it a little bit. So I do a lot of connections between, expressing through the arts, expressing through the music, through the literature, expressing through different, parts of their body, and just, go through the route that they feel more comfortable using. They're also more willing to receive like help and more open, and it's a lot about the adventure of learning and working through stuff and playing, and it's just so much easier. They don't feel that guilt and that, embarrassment. A lot of kids at an early age don't understand those feelings yet, so they openly express what they went through without too much trouble. I love my job. I really love working with kids. Like I said, they are just so honest about everything. So a kid that tells you that he's been abused because daddy, mommy, grandpa touched me, it's true. There's nothing around it that will make you believe that they're just building up that, to get a benefit out of it.